All right, here we go again. This is my third video I'm making today. These are the three games I had a video out a few days ago, and I'm just completing them all. I did payoff pitch and replay, and the last one is the inside pitch advance game that I had started. This one is 1964, and it's White Sox at the Yankees, and they're scoreless through 3 innings. Good pitchers duel. We got two good pitchers on the mound. Horland for the White Sox, who had a great year in '64, and Stottlemyre, who also had a very good year for the Yankees, a 9-3 record with a 2.06 ERA. So we're scoreless through 3 in this one. We're going to start off top 4 with Robinson up against Stottlemyre. Stottlemyre can still face 22 batters. Horland can still face 18 before we have to worry about them being tired. The White Sox did, I think, load the bases in the first but didn't score. Yankees have a couple of hits, but they were just singles and they didn't go anywhere. So we're going to go top 4. I'm going to try and adjust now to IPA. My brain is a little tired. Got started feeling it at the end of that replay game, which I did, so hopefully I won't make too many mistakes. I might go a little slower just to try not to make mistakes, but here we go. I got the ball roller going. The top numbers are going to be for the pitcher card. And then if we need it, which we most likely will, we have the bottom row for the hitter's card. If we need more dice, we'll roll them. If I need a strategy roll, I will probably use one of the D20s that's already rolled because I'm not that worried about it. So instead of rolling again, I'll just use one of those. And let's see what happens. Robinson against Stottlemyre. Robinson singled in the first inning. So he is 1 for 1. And yeah, let's go. Now I got to, in replay, of course, you look at the hitter first. Now in IPA, I got to get to the pitcher first. So hopefully I can adjust and not make any errors. Here we go. Let's start it. We got a 3-8 on Stottlemyre, and those are question marks. Robinson is a left-handed batter, but 15 is too big, so that's just going to be a blank. So we're going to go to Robinson. We're going to use the bottom as a 5-6. And a 5-6, here we go. So we got an NS3. So there is nobody in scoring position, so we're going to have to check Stottlemyre's N number. His N number is 7. And we can use the 17, so that's going to be a base hit. The 17 is outside of Stottlemyre's N range, so that S3 is going to stand. So 5-6 and S3. 17 is too much for Stottlemyre's N number. That's a single past first base, and Robinson is 2 for 2. So right off the bat, my brain had to get going with that N number, but he is on first. Now, we used the 17, so we'll just go back to the 15 for the strategy roll. And obviously, Robinson's not going anywhere with a 1 attempt against a 0 hold. And we'll take a quick look at Nicholson, but I don't think that's going to hit his hit and run, and I'm not sacrificing. So, yeah, and it doesn't. He doesn't even have any of those numbers. So Nicholson will be up. Nicholson walked in the first inning. So runner on first, nobody out. And let's go. Stottlemyre, we got a 4-2. Nicholson is right-handed, so this is a walk chance against a right-handed batter. And Nicholson against a righty pitcher walks at a 19 clip, so that 9 is going to be no problem. There's no adjustments to the ballpark here, zeros for Ks and walks. There is a right-handed home run adjustment of -1 here at Yankee Stadium. So Nicholson, who walked in the first, walks again. So Robinson and Nicholson have done the same thing in their second at-bats. A single and a walk. It's first and second. Nobody out. If I use the 7, it's not going to be any stealing or hit and run or anything like that. So we're just going to go to McGraw and not worry about the strategy roll because it's not going to hit anybody using the 7. So first and second, nobody out. White Sox threatening against Stottlemyre again. Like I said, they did load the bases in the first, so Stottlemyre getting into trouble again, first and second. Let's see what McGraw can do. McGraw popped a short with the bases loaded in the first. So he batted .260 with 6 homers, so not bad. Here we go. 5-8. That's a blank on Stottlemyre. So we're going to go to the bottom with a 1-7 and a fly to right. Alright, so that's a fly to right for McGraw. Now we do have to check the runner at second base. Let me grab the fly ball chart. And we are going to have to roll again for the fly ball chart since we used the 1-7. So we're going to roll on the fly ball to the 3 chart. We'll use the top numbers for this. And we get a 4-6. And a 4-6 is just a hold. So he's not going anywhere. So first and second, 1 out. We'll use the 20 for the strategy roll, which might hit Weiss, but we probably are not going to do anything. It will hit his sacrifice, but with 1 out, we're not sacrificing. So he will just bat first and second, 1 out. We will ignore the strategy there. No reason to sacrifice with 1 out. He hit 247 with 2 homers. Stottlemyre trying to get out of this inning. First and second, 1 down. Here we go. We get an 8-3, and that is a K chance against a right-handed batter. He strikes out an 8 clip. That's a 3. So he goes down on strikes. That is Stottlemyre's 5th strikeout of this game. And there are now 2 out, first and second. So White Sox got the first 2 guys on, but so far have stalled. And that's going to bring up J.C. Martin, who was a strikeout victim in the second inning, hit 197 with 4 homers. We go first and second, 2 out. Here we go. Let's see if Stottlemyre can get out of this inning or if Martin can get a big clutch hit. 6-8. That's a range play at the ballpark. So let me just write that down so I don't forget. We got not only a range play, but we were at the ballpark. So I have to find the ballpark. We got to find Yankee Stadium. So let's see where that is. Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is, I'm so used to replay and payoff pitch with the parks in the back that I forgot that I don't have to do that in Inside Pitch Advance. There's Yankee Stadium. Bear with me a second. Okay, so it's a range play at the park. So we're going to use the bottom roll because we didn't use it yet. That is a 6-7. 6-7. Oh, and this is with a left-handed batter is a home run chance. So first we got to resolve whether it's a home run or not. 6-7. Home run chance for a left-handed batter. Now Martin against righty batters is only a 4. And against right-hand pitchers, is a 4. There's no adjustment for lefty batters at Yankee Stadium, obviously with the short porch, but the 4 is going to be too big for the 8 that we're using on the bottom. So it's not going to be a home run. So now we have to do the range play because now it's going to be a fly ball. I assume the right, since the right side was a fly to right. I'm going to say it's a fly ball to right field. And let's just make it easy. So we're going to say it's a fly ball to right field. And right field for the Yankees is Maris. He is a 6. Let's just double check that. I wrote it down, but I can barely read my own handwriting. Double check Maris's range. Maris's range in right field is a 6. So we will roll again, and we will use the first number that comes up for the range. So the first red die is going to be the range check. And it's a 1, so he makes that catch. And that will retire the side. No scoring. I can't remember, to be honest with you, on these. That's 6-7. It's an H home run check, and it's a fly to right against a righty, and it's a home run check. I don't know if that means it's also the right field or if we should roll for the field. I can't remember. Someone in the comments remind me if we just go with right field. But it just made sense. Lefty batter. It was going to be a fly to right against a righty. I'm just going to go with the fly to right. And a 1, actually, to be honest with you, would have been an out regardless of the field anyway, so it didn't really matter. All right, so we're going to go bottom 4 scoreless. Again, the White Sox threaten, and again, they don't score. Maris will actually lead off this inning. So I could go back to Maris because he's going to be up. And I got to find Horlin for... There's Joe Horlin. Yeah, I got to look that up. I don't want to take time now to look it up. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on the field on those, if it's the same as the right-hand batter or not. All right, Maris is 0 for 1. But like I say, with the 1 on the D8, it would have been an out on the range play no matter which field. So really didn't change anything. So, okay, here we go. Horlin, bottom 4 facing Maris. No score. And here we go. Now we're on this side with Horlin. And a 4-2 is a K chance. Maris against righties is a 7. That's a 2. And Maris is gone. That is number 3 for Horlin. 1 out for Mickey Mantle. Mantle batting lefty against the righty Horlin. And we got a 1-6. And as I said, he was batting lefty against the righty, and that's an auto out. So an auto out 4 is a ground ball to first. I don't have the little chart with me. It tells you how to score that, but it doesn't really matter. 2 out. I like those charts, though, when I'm playing cards and dice. Tells you whether it's a 3 unassisted or a 3-1. This is an odd even. I don't remember what odd even is, but it doesn't matter. Tommy Tresh is up with 2 out. And nobody on. So here we go. 8-3. All right, we got a possible error on a ground ball. 2-3. Oh, here's an NS6. So, again, there's nobody in scoring position. But that 3 is going to hit Horlin's end number. His end number is 9. We're using the 3, so he is able to turn this S6 into an out. That'll become a G6, 6-3, and that is going to do it. Through 4 innings scoreless. So that was nice. We had the A3 possible error. Actually, now this is interesting. There's a possible error on a ground ball, though. So now I have to check for an error. Oy vey. 8-3, error on a ground ball. 2-3 was an NS6. Yeah, I'm going to have to check on an error on a ground ball. We're going to have to roll again. So hold your horses. Time out. 8-3, error on a grounder, NS6. Now the N hits him, so he turns the S6 into a G6. But now a G6 is a ground ball. So now we have to look at Hansen's error rating. Let me just double check that. What is Hansen's error rating at short? And then I'm going to have to roll again because we used the 3 for the N number. Where the hell is Hansen? I will find. Oh, that's right. He was up here somewhere, wasn't he? Yeah, there he is. Shortstop, his error number is a 6. So we're going to re-roll, and we'll use the first D20 up here. First D20 up here is going to be for the error, and there's no error. So it is a 6-3, and that takes care of that. Oh, right. That was a multi-step process to get that out. So we're going to go to the top of the 5th. I think that's correct, though. Once the N turns it into a G6 on an error on a ground ball, I would think you'd have to check for the error. So I don't know. That makes sense to me. Whether that was right or not, I'm not sure. Landis is going to be up against Whitey, against not Whitey Ford, against Mel Stottlemyre. I almost pitched Whitey Ford, but I went Mel Stottlemyre here. So we got Stottlemyre and Landis in the top of the 5th, scoreless. Landis is 0 for 1 on a fly to left. That other play is bothering me now on that home run, whether it's to right field or how we determine field on that. Because it was a F9 on the right-handed batter, but it just said H on the left-handed batter. All right, well, whatever. I don't know why that's bothering me, but I got to figure that one out. Landis is up against Stottlemyre, top of the 5th inning. And we go 2-8, and that's a K chance against a righty. And that is a 14, and that's a 5. That is going to be a strikeout. So Stottlemyre has 6, and there is 1 out for Buford. 1 out for Buford. I do not remember. There he is. Buford, top of the order. He walked and fly to right. 0 for 1. And we got a 2-2 blank. So then we go 2-3 against the righties, a G3. So that's a grounder to first. That's even. I can't remember. I got to pull out that mini chart so that I know whether to go 3-1 or 3 unassisted. 2 out, nobody on for Hansen, who made that play in the last inning. There was no error. And I guess you got to check on an error, right? Because it was an EG, and then the NS6 became a G6. So I would think on a G6 you got to check because it's an error on a ground ball. So I think that was correct, but there was no error anyway. And with 2 out, nobody on here, Hansen will bat against Stottlemyre. I am a little rusty on this. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of PC, so you get lazy when you're playing on the PC and you don't got to actually figure all this stuff out. It'll be good when Sim 9 comes out, and Sim 9 will direct you to all that stuff. All right, 8-3 is a K chance, and on an 8, that's a 3, and that is going to be a strikeout. 7 for Stottlemyre. So we're going to go bottom 5, scoreless. And Ellie Howard's going to lead it off against Horlin. And again, you guys can chime in the comments on those couple of plays there that I couldn't remember 100% how to handle. All right, Ellie Howard's going to be up against Horlin in the bottom of the 5th, scoreless. Howard is 1 for 1. It doesn't matter. We're just hanging out, having some fun. So let's roll for Horlin and Howard here in the bottom of the 5th, scoreless. I knew this was going to be probably a pitcher's duel, and it's turning out that way. 2 good pitchers on the mound. Horlin was really good. 188 ERA. So 1-2, and this is a K chance against a righty, and a 1 is going to be a strikeout. So Howard is down. That's the 4th strikeout for Horlin, 1 out, and it's going to bring up Joe Pepitone with the nice hair. Nobody had better hair than Joe Pepitone. Hit 28 homers, too, in 64. Horlin, man, look at this year he had. He had 210 innings. He only gave up 142 hits, 11 homers, and a 188 ERA. Somehow he lost 9 games. He was 13-9. The White Sox couldn't score for him, probably. But nice year for Horlin. For the White Sox. White Sox had good pitching. Bottom 5, 1 out. Here we go. Pepitone bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. So 1 out, nobody on. And here we go. 5-3. And against the lefty, this is a home run chance. 5-3. Left-handed batter, Pepitone homer. Against righties, he's a 16, and that is a 7. And Joe Pepitone, there's no adjustment for lefties at the stadium. And Pepitone puts one in the seats and gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead. So we'll just run that one again. 5-3. Home run against a left-handed batter. And Pepitone against a right-handed pitcher is a 16 home run, and that was just a 7. So easy home run for Joe Pepitone. And the Yankees get on the board, 1-0. Bring up Boyer. Just like that, pitcher's duel and scoreless pitcher's duel is broken up. He didn't give up a lot of homers, 11 in 210 innings, but he gives up one there to the lefty. All right, Boyer is 0 for 1. And a 5-2. He's right-handed, so that's going to be a blank, so we can go to the 8-5, and it's a ground to the short. 2 out. And Blanchard will bat. Blanchard is DHing in this game. Yes, I'm DHing. I know it's 64, but when I do King of the Hills, I really don't like pitchers hitting. Never liked pitchers hitting anyway, so I really prefer just sticking a DH in there. It's just so much easier. Sorry, purists, but Blanchard's DHing, and he will bat with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. And here we go. 4-6, and that against a lefty is an auto out. 4-6, lefty auto out. 15 is a ground to the short. So that takes care of that. But the Yankees get on the board with Pepitone's homer, and through 5, they lead it 1-0. Just want to do a quick bookkeeping on batters faced. Horlin's now faced 18, 29, so he can face 11 more. Stottlemyre has faced 20 from 34, so he could still face 14. All right, just doing a little bookkeeping, see where the pitchers stand as far as batters faced. We're going to go with Ward in the top of the 6th, leading it off for Chicago. That's Pete Ward, and I got to find Stottlemyre. It's down here on the bottom, and we can play the top of the 6th inning. little laid back here in this game. Like I said, it's the third game I've done today, so running on empty a little bit here. But I also want to roll two cards and dice games today. I got a 24 strat game I want to roll out. That's the Brooklyn Robins at the Washington Senators. The Senators are the current king of the hill after beating the Giants. So I want to roll that game out in 24 strat. And I have 62 replay. I bought the actual 62 card set. It's the first card set I actually bought. I had some those Diamond Decade types, but I didn't have a season. So I bought 62 replay, and I'm going to get a King of the Hill started there too. I cannot remember. I think it's Baltimore and the Yankees in that one. And that'll be the first King of the Hill in the 62 replay game. I'm going to try and get those going. I don't know if I'll be able to do full games because when I do cards and dice, those are long videos, and I don't have a good setup right now. That's kind of why I'm doing it this way right now, because I don't have a good setup for the to do it the other way. But anyway, I might put up something on those games in the next couple of days as well. And I got a bunch of PC stuff going on. I'm playing all kinds of PC games. I've been really loving PC replay, and I'm playing PC Inside Pitch Advanced. And I've been getting back into basketball. I'm going to play some hoops. I've been playing some replay basketball. I also have Inside the Paint. I got Diamond Mind, Diamond Digital. I actually like that Digital Diamond. Everybody uses it as a manual companion, but I actually like the game itself. It plays pretty well. It plays like a nice little card game. So I might get back into playing a little bit of that. So here we go. Top six. Ward's going to bat against Stottlemyre. It's 1-0 Yanks. Let's get back to the game. And we got 5-1 blank on Stottlemyre, and nicely here we have this roll already ready for us. 3-8, and it's grounded to first. Good boy, it is really so much easier when you have that second roll ready to go. It's a little bit more confusing when you're doing actual dice, but you have to keep the colors in your mind as to which goes with which, but it really does make it easy. I mean, here you just check 5-1 blank, and then boom, you just go right to 3-8, and you got a G3. It's just beautiful. So I really like kind of playing this way, to be honest with you. I'm getting more and more used to it, and it really does speed things up. So Robinson, who started us off on the fifth with a base hit, he's 2 for 2. He's going to be batting against Stottlemyre. 1 out, nobody on, and here we go. 5-8. It's also nice because I can read these so much better than sometimes. Sometimes with dice I can't read them. 5-8, and we got another blank. So we're going to go 5-5, and 5-5 is G6. So just like that, we have 2 outs here in the 6th as Stottlemyre continues to cruise. Kind of reminded me of the payoff pitch game. I won't give spoilers if you haven't watched it, but that was also a 1-0 game for much of the game. And we're going to go to Nicholson. So we've had pitchers duels, except for that replay game we had some runs. Replay game, the balls were flying out of County Stadium in 1982. So Nicholson has walked twice. He does not have an official at-bat. He's up here with 2 out and nobody on in the top of the 6th. White Sox trying to get something going against Stottlemyre, trailing 1-0 on the Pepitone homer. And 1-5 is wild, but there's nobody on base, so we're just going to go 2-8, and that's a base hit. There's a base hit for Nicholson, a single pass short. So he's 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He's been on base 3 times. We will use the, let's see, we used the 2-8, but we didn't use the 3. So we'll use the 3 as the strategy roll. And he's an H, so he's not running, and so we don't have to worry about strategy. There we go. I try and make these strategy rolls as simple and quick as possible because I don't want to waste too much time, and most of the time nothing's happening anyway. So here with 2 outs and a runner on first, McGraw will bat. He is 0 for 2, popped to short with the bases loaded in the first, and he flied to right with first and second in, what was it, the 4th or the 3rd? 5th. So he has left a bunch of guys on base in his at-bats, and he bats here. He will hit. He's a 260 hitter with 6 home runs. Runner on first, 2 out. And here we go with a 6-4. 6-4 is a K chance against a righty. He's a 10, no adjustment. 9 will get him. And that is number 8 for Stottlemyre. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Yanks. They're going to have the top of the order. Tony Kubek will lead it off. I grew up listening to Garagiola and Kubek. They were a great team to listen to. I do not listen to a lot of games anymore or watch a lot of games anymore because most of the announcers drive me up a wall. Don't really enjoy too many of them anymore. But definitely used to listen to Garagiola and Kubek do the games, and that was a lot of fun. Those days are over. But now when I watch a game, it's usually with the sound down, to be honest with you. I can't even listen to these guys anymore. 1-0 bottom 6, Horlin and Kubek. And by the way, Stoudemire faced 4 more batters there, so he's down to 10. So he can still face 10. Horlin is at 11 batters that he can still face. Kubek 0 for 2. And here we go, bottom 6. We got a 7-7. That's a K chance against a righty. He only strikes out at a 6 clip, and that just misses him at 7 with no ballpark adjustment. So then we're going to go 8-4, and it's a grounder right back to Horlin. So, again, so easy when you have that second roll waiting for you. 1 out, nobody on for Richardson. I don't mind extra rolls in games. I'm not one of those guys that hates extra rolls, but when, a game like this, it just speeds everything up when that second roll is just waiting for you and you don't have to bother with it. It really makes the game go much, much better. So if you can kind of get over the initial confusion of rolling them all at once, cards and dice, it really is nice to have that second roll just set and sitting there for you and you don't have to re-roll it. All right, 1 out, nobody on. Richardson's 1 for 2. And here we go. We got a 5-4, and that is a K chance. And he's only a 2 against a righty, so he's not going to strike out. And then we got the 2-8, and that's popped to short. And there's another good example of just bang, bang. Just bang, bang. 5-4 on Horlin. You see it's a K chance. You see the 6 doesn't hit him. And then you just go right to 2-8, and it's a pop to short, and you're done. Just so easy. Maris will bat. 2 out, nobody on. He's 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. And we got a 5-1 against the lefty is an auto out, so we won't even have to worry about a second roll, as an 8 is a fly to center. And that was an easy inning for Horlin, who recovers from that home run last inning, puts up another 0, and we are 1-0 through 6 in another pitcher's duel. Horlin can still face 8 guys, too, after that inning. So neither one of these pitchers showing signs of wanting to or needing to come out. And, of course, it's 1964, so pitchers certainly were still pitching pretty deep into games. It's going to be Weiss leading off. Where is he? It's Al Weiss, right? Al Weiss, where is he? There he is. He hit, 247 with 2 homers. Top of the 7th. It is the bottom of the order. I don't even know what their bench looks like. I should just give me a second here. Bear with me. I just want to take a quick look at who I'm dealing with on the bench, especially for the left-handed hitters. I got It's interesting to see Skowron on the White Sox, as I think of him with the Yankees. But he had a nice year. He's right-handed, though. I might want to save him for if a lefty comes in, unless no lefty comes in, then I will use him. But I don't think I want to use him with nobody on base. Landis, Nicholson. They don't have a lot of lefty bench. Carry-on's righty. They got Stevens, who's not in the game, but he only hit 234. Ken Berry. Minnie Minoso, right-handed, 226. Did not have a good year. So, yeah, they don't have much bench. Skowron's the obvious guy right-handed, but this is not a spot for him, I don't think. So I'm going to let Al Weiss hit right now in the 7th inning of a 1-0 game. He's a good second baseman anyway. He's got a 7 range, so I don't want to take him out of the game in a close game. So he will bat. He has struck out twice, though, against Stoudemire. 7-3, and that is a walk chance, and that's probably going to be a walk on a 2. Right? 7-3 against a righty, and that is a walk. So Weiss rewards me with my faith in him with a walk. He is a 6 attempt, too, so he can run against a 0 hold. And if I use the bottom 2, we haven't used it. We used this 2 for the walk, but we haven't used this 2. So that would be a steal attempt. So let's see what he will be. He's a 15. It's a 0 hold. Howard is catching. What is Howard? What is Howard's arm? Ellie Howard, catcher, is a -1. So that is good for the Yankees and Stoudemire. He's a -1. So we got a 15 -1 is a 14. They're down a run, but it would be nice to get that run. So I'm going to try it. So we're going to use the top blue dice. We're going to use this top blue one. I got to re-roll because we used both of these 2s. So I'm going to use the top blue for the steal. He's 1 to 14 safe. And it's a 9. He steals the base. So he is in at second with a stolen base. He is on second with nobody out. I'll use the 17 as the next strategy roll. So he's not stealing third, but that could hit Martin. Let me see if that hits Martin at all, the 17. It does hit him on a hit and run, but with a runner on second, I'm not going to hit and run. If it was a sacrifice, I'd consider it, although with a 9-hitter up next, I might not do it anyway. So he's already in scoring position, so let's just let Martin hit. Left-hand batter against Stottlemyre. White Sox threatening to tie it. Runner on second, nobody out. A walk and a stolen base. So let's see what happens here. 2, 3 is a blank, and we go 1-8, fly to center. So we are going to have to see if there's any base runner action on that fly ball to center field. On that 1-8, we're going to have to roll again. Let me get the chart. We're rolling on the fly ball 2-3 chart. We're just going to use the top numbers. We're going to roll again, top numbers for this. And we get a 5-3. 5-3 is hold 3 to 7 on arms. So that was hit to center. Center is Mantle. And let me just double check his arm to get this right, because this is an important part of the game. Where is Mantle? Center field, he is a 1. Wow, he's a 1. So that runner is going to advance, because it was hold 3 to 7. But Mantle's arm does not hold the runner, so he's going to tag up and go to third on that fly ball to center field. So we have a runner on third with 1 out for Landis. And that means we're going to bring the infield in. Now the question is going to be, will Landis even hit? Let me bring Landis up. Game getting late, so we got to make some decisions. Slows the game down a little bit. Landis only hit 208, so I think I got a pinch hit for him. He is their center fielder. All right, so we need a left-handed pinch hitter. Stevens is a center fielder, but he only hit 234. He is left-handed. The question is, do we use Skowron here, righty-righty? Let me see what Skowron's numbers look like, righty-righty. Skowron, righty-righty. Against right-hand pitchers, he's 16 home run against righties. So he actually has a better home run number against righties than lefties. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use Skowron as the pinch hitter. I mean, this is their chance to tie the game with a runner on third and 1 out. So I'm not going to let lefty-righty sway me from using their best guy. Skowron is going to pinch hit, then we'll worry about putting someone into center field. So there's a runner on third, 1 out. Moose Skowron's going to pinch hit for Landis. Stottlemyre is going to pitch to him. We're going to bring the infield in. So the infield is in. We'll use the infield in chart if necessary. Runner on third, 1 out. This could get confusing, but we'll try and get through it. And that's it. We don't need any more setup than this. Runner on third, 1 out, infield in. And let's see what happens. 3-2, K-Chance, right-handed batter, 12, and that's a 6. He got him. So Skowron is struck out. What a big strikeout. That's the 9th strikeout for Stottlemyre, and man, did it come at a good time, keeping Skowron from putting the ball in play. We'll just run that again. 3-2 is a K-Chance. Stottlemyre, right-hand pitcher, is a 12, no adjustment, and that is a strikeout. So that's going to leave the runner on third now with 2 out for Buford. And the White Sox are going to need a big 2-out hit in order to get this run home. Runner on third, 2 out. We're pitching to Buford. Switch hitter, batting lefty. 260 hitter. He's batting. So let's see if the White Sox can tie this game up. Stottlemyre trying to get out of it. 3-2. That's another K-Chance. This right-handed pitcher is an 8. And that's an 8. He gets him. Oh, man. Mel Stottlemyre, 3-2. Rewind that. A little instant replay. 3-2. K-Chance. Right-handed pitcher. He's an 8. No adjustment. So 2 big strikeouts for Stottlemyre. And he now has 10, and he leaves that runner on third base. He faced 4 batters in that inning. He's down to 6. He's down to 6 batters that he can face, but he is through 7 with this 1-0 lead. Strikes out Skowron and Buford with a runner on third. So it's going to be Mantle leading it off, the bottom of the 7th. Mantle's going to lead it off, bottom 7. Let's bring Horland back. He's still pitching strong, so he's not going anywhere. He pitched 210 innings that year. And he can still face 8 batters. Let's just double check that. 18, 21, and he was 29. Yeah, so he can still face 8 batters. Mantle is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. And 1-0, bottom 7. They had the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium. And we are ready for the finish of this game. We got a 4-4, and that is a hit by pitch -2. His hit by pitch, where are the hit by pitches here? I'm used to him in the computer being somewhere else, but he's a 0, so that's not going to happen, -2. So we're going to go on a blank to an 8-7, and that's just a G4. 1 out. 1 out, nobody on. We could ignore the symbol because there's nobody on base. There's no situation where that comes into play here. And Tresh will bat. He is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. So 1 out, nobody on. Big time pitchers duel. 1-0, bottom 7. And we got a 1-1. That's question marks. Tresh is batting left-handed. He's a switch hitter. And a 19 is too much. So that's just going to be a blank. So we're going to go to the 7-5, and that's a G4. And again, you see how easy it is when you have that all the numbers ready for you. And we've had 2 4-3s here to start this game. We'll go to that again. It was a 1-1 question marks, but left-hand batter, 19 was too big, so 7-5 is just a G4. So there's 2 out, nobody on for Ellie Howard. And Elston Howard will hit here. He singled and struck out himself. 2 out, nobody on, and we are just not getting a lot of offense. Let's see what happens here. We get a 2-1. 2-1 is a possible error on a booted ball. 2-6, though, is a... All right, so that is a single to the outfield. So we are going to have to check this. And a 2 is the blue number. So let's just rewind this here. 2-1 is an EB, error on a booted ball, and that includes hits to the outfield. And a 2-6 is a hit to the outfielder. So that is a single to center. Now the center fielder... Oh, we're going to pretend that we didn't forget to put someone in center. So we got to put someone in center field. And Ken Berry is center fielder. This is unfortunate that we also have Gene Stevens. So this is a problem now because I know this is an error check and I can see the error results. So this is bad on me, but oh well, things happen. I'm going to put in the guy who I would have put in. I'm going to... I think those are my 2 obvious choices for center field. Hirschberger also plays center. What I'll probably do, since I have to do this, is I'm going to re-roll the dice. Because if I put in the guy who's a 0, then there won't be. But I'm probably going to re-roll for the error, just because it's not fair that I can see the dice. So in the name of fairness, I'm going to put somebody in, and then I'm going to roll for the error. Buford, Hansen. All right, so Hirschberger, and I'm not going to put the guy with 0 in, because I think right now that's just kind of cheating if I know that he can't make an error. So I'm not going to put Ken Berry, and he only had 32 ABs anyway. It's either going to be Stevens, and I think Stevens, the lefty, kind of makes sense since there's a righty in the game. So and he is a good outfielder with a 7. He is a 20 error, so I know he's going to make an error. So this is tough now. This is unfair. Maybe I'll put in the other guy just because then there's at least a little bit of a chance of it going either way. So I'm going to put Hirschberger in the game. He had a 452 ABs that year, and he's a 5. So Hirschberger is going to go into play center. My bad that I did not put the center fielder in after the pinch hit. I forgot. And it just so happens that it comes up that it's going to be an error play. So remember, it was an error on a booted ball on an S8. So what we're going to do is we're going to re-roll and use the top blue die. We're going to re-roll and use the top blue die, and his error rate in center field is a 6. So let's re-roll it, and there's no error. So we're just going to leave Howard at first, and we're going to forget we had that little blip. No big deal, and the runner will stay at first base. My bad, I forgot to replace the center fielder. So Pepitone will be up with a runner on first and 2 out. If I put the 0 guy in, it would have been no error anyway. If I put the 20 guy in, it would have been an error. So I'll split the difference and put Hirschberger in, and we re-roll, and there's no error. So I think that's relatively fair considering the circumstances. So we're going to have 2 out, runner on first, and Pepitone up. Base running, we used the 15, so we'll use the 20. So there's going to be no steal, and we're not going to do any hit and run or anything like that with 2 outs. Pepitone's got power. He homered last time up, so let's just roll. 1-7 is an RP13. This is a 12, so it will be a range play. 6-6 is a fly to right. So we got a range play on a fly to right, and that is Robinson in right. I think he's a 4, but I want to double check because I don't trust my handwriting that I wrote down. Robinson right is a 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to re-roll for the range play, and it's going to be the first red die on top will be the range play. 1-4, and he doesn't make it. It's a 5. All right, so now we have a failed range play on an F9. So that means we have to check the RP2B of Horlin, and we'll use the D20 as a 1. It's probably going to hit him. So Horlin's RP2B is a 1. Wow, and that was a 1. All right. So here we go. In a double with 2 outs on a failed range play, I believe the runner scores because he's running on the pitch. So that is going to be a double to right. And Howard is going to score from first base running on the pitch. With 2 out on a failed range play, I believe the base runner gets 3 bases on a double. And that's the way I'm going to play it anyway, because that's how it makes sense to me. On the failed range play, 2 outs, Howard running on the play, scores, and it's 2-0 Yankees. 2 out, and that's going to bring up Kenny Boyer. Clete Boyer, sorry. And Horlin will stay in the game, runner on second, 2 out. And we're not going to do strategy here. I don't see any strategy with a runner on second and 2 out. Boyer's just swinging. 6-1, right-handed blank, 4-2, fly to left. So that retires the side. Can't remember for sure if that's with... I thought with 2 outs on a failed range play, they get 3 bases on a double. But again, that's just what makes sense to me. Anyway, with 2 outs, they don't have to wait to see if it's caught, so they're running, and they should probably get 3 bases on that. Whereas with less than 2 out, they have to wait to see if it's caught. So that to me is the difference on those plays. So we're going to go top 8, and Hansen. I don't want to stop and look in rules and stuff. Just slow us down. It's not that important. It's just we're just having some fun here. So, but anyway, that's the way I remember it. All right, we got Stottlemyre still in the game, top 8, facing Hansen. Horlin faced 5 that inning, so he's down to 3. But he's still going to start the bottom of the 8th. So Stottlemyre's on 6. He's going to face Hansen here, top 8. Yankees now lead at 2-0. A single by Howard, and then the double by Pepitone on the failed range play. And Yankees take a 2-0 lead, top 8. And we got a 2-3 blank, and then we go 2-8, and that's a star 4, grounded to third, 1 out. Stottlemyre in control will face Ward, who's right next to Hansen. Nice and easy. Oh, I think I double-clicked that. A 1-2, and that he's not tired, so that's just a K chance. Right-handed batter, no good. 2-7, line a second. 2 out. 2 out, nobody on. So we've had 2 or 3 plays today that I got to go back to the rule book on. Like I say, I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I'll go back to the rule book and clarify all these things for when I play cards and dice to try and remind myself. I just haven't played a lot of cards and dice IPA lately. So Robinson, 2 out, nobody on. He's got 2 hits in this game. And we got 4-1, and that's an auto out. Just like that. G6. Stottlemyre, 1, 2, 3. Bottom 8. 2-0 Yanks. Stottlemyre can still face 3, same as Horland, who's going to start the bottom of the 8th. And we'll see how far he gets. If he has to, he might face a batter or 2 tired. And Blanchard leads it off for the Yankees. Johnny Blanchard and Joe Horland. Blanchard is 0 for 2. And 3-3. And there's a K chance for Horland against the righty, and that is a strikeout. So he goes down for the second time. And what are we up to? 5, it looks like, for Horland. 1 out. And we're going to go top of the order, Tony Kubek. But, you know, you play these games, these things happen sometimes where you're like, just do not remember how to handle everything. It's good for people to see, though, that this stuff happens and you just deal with it. It's not that big a deal. I'm in Minnesota. Where the hell did Tommy Tresh go? There he is. Not Tommy Tresh, Tony Kubek. There's Tony Kubek. So we got 1 out, nobody on for Kubek. And here we go. 8-7. He's not tired, so that's just a K chance righty. 6, and that's a 1, so he gets the second strikeout of the inning. That's a 6 now. So Horland finishing strong here with 2 strikeouts. He's down to 1 batter he can face before tired kicks in, but he's got 2 outs. He only needs to get 1 more out, and it's going to be Richardson, who is 1 for 3. Let's see if he can finish strong here. 4-8. That is an auto out. Again, you see that tired result, but he has that 1 batter left. This is his 29th batter, and he can face 29 guys. So he was that close to getting the tired result, but it's an auto out instead, and that is a fly to center. So he faces exactly 29 hitters, which is what he was programmed to face. And he gives up the 2 runs. Right now, there's a little bit of an asterisk on that bottom of the 7th run, but I gave the Yankees that run on that failed range play double with 2 out because I think Howard gets 3 bases. If not, I'm sorry, White Sox fans. But we're going to go to the top of the 9th. Yankees would still at least have a 1-0 lead anyway. And on Pepitone's homer. Stottlemyre is going to stay in there. He also can face 3 guys. Nicholson is due to lead off. He is a 204 hitter, but he did hit 13 homers. And I don't have a lot of good lefties on the bench, so he's going to hit against Stottlemyre, who's trying to throw the complete game. White Sox are protesting on some of these rulings, but we'll leave that to the commissioner to worry about after the game. Top 9, Nicholson, Stottlemyre. Let's see if Stottlemyre can finish this game. It's 2-0. 5-7 against the righties, a blank. So we go 3-5, and that is wow. That is just a straight K on Nicholson's card. You don't see a lot of those. It actually threw me for a second, but that is a straight K. That is wild. Pretty sure that's a straight strikeout on that batter's card. I don't think you have to check. I think that's just a straight strikeout. So that's how I'm ruling that. White Sox are moaning all of my rulings going against them. You just don't see a lot of Ks on hitter cards. Wow. But I think that's a straight K. Anyway, 1 out, nobody on for McGraw. And Will McGraw bat. He is 266 homers. He's a left-hand hitter, so he's going to hit. He's 0 for 3. 1 out, nobody on. Another strange. Yeah, you see a card like McGraw. I don't see. Very few hitters cards have straight Ks on them. So that was wild. He has a couple of them, too. Let's go back to Nicholson. He has 3-3 and 3-5 at least, and he's got 7-3. How many times did this guy strike out? I got to go on Baseball Reference later and see how many times that guy struck out to have straight strikeouts on his hitter's card. All right, McGraw is going to be up 1 out, nobody on. And Stottlemyre can still face 2 hitters before being tired. 4-4. And that's an auto out. Again, he's not tired yet. So the 4-4 is an auto out 2. And an auto out 2 is a grounded to short. So the White Sox are down to their last out. They're being shut out here by Mel Stottlemyre. 2 out. And Weiss is due up. And remember last time I thought about hitting for him. And he actually got a walk and a steal, and he actually got to third base. He was about the only White Sox to get to third base. And I think he might be. No, no, they had bases loaded in the first inning. Where is he? Where is Weiss? He's hiding on me. Can't find him. Where the heck did he go? Gemland, there he is. All right. 2 out, nobody on. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out, and walked. He has not put the ball in play. He hit 247 with 2 homers. Who is my other option? Let's see if I have a better option. That'll decide whether he gets pinch hit for. Who is my better option? Manoso only hit 226. He's right-handed. Berry hit 375 and only 32 at-bats. He's the guy we almost put in center field with the 0 error number. He's right-handed, but he did hit 375, so in fairness to the White Sox, with all these rulings going against them, maybe. He's got 274, but no power. Stevens hit 234. He's left-handed, but he only hit 234. I might as well hit Weiss as opposed to him. McNerney, 215. Maybe I'll go with the guy who hit 375, even though he's right-handed. I feel like I owe it to the White Sox to give him a shot here. Buford's in the game. Skowron, Robinson, Hanson. All right, we'll go with the guy who hit 375 and 32 ABs. I don't remember him very well, but Ken Berry. Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know. Berry is going to pinch hit for Weiss here. Try and keep this game going. He is right-handed, but he hit 375 and 32 ABs. 2 out, nobody on. They need to keep this game going. So Ken Berry is going to try and extend this game for the White Sox against Stottlemyre, who is now facing his last batter before he begins to be tired. 6-2, walk chance. Right-handed. Oh, a 14. And he's a 15, and there's no ballpark adjustment. He just misses the walk with a 6-2 15. And now we go 4-4, and he pops it to second, and that's the ball game. Just missed walking, but he ends up popping to second. And Stottlemyre, I mean, it's 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. That's funny. Both pitchers faced exactly the number of batters they were programmed to face. He faced 34. Horland faced 29. That doesn't usually happen. Yankees win it 2-0. 2-0 final. Stottlemyre gets a complete game shutout. Horland pitched well, gave up maybe 2 runs. The second run is still questionable, and the White Sox are protesting. But I think you get 3 bases on a double with 2 outs on a failed range play, but I'm not positive. But anyway, Yankees win it. They would have won it on Pepitone's homer anyway. And that's it. So, yeah, put anything in the comments you want on this game. There were 2 or 3 questionable plays that I couldn't remember, but I didn't really feel like stopping for rules or anything like that. Just having some fun here. And it's my 3rd video today, so I am tired. So, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.